That's right. Hi, Chris Kim. Hey, you guys. This is Linda Marcus Smith, your favorite geriatric. Young people, that's an okay boomer. Anyway, what I'm doing today is I'm helping promote somebody that's here in Vegas. He's been hitting the scene hard. He deserves mad respect. He's getting out there trying and switching up his material and everything. And we're going to get to know him. You're going to fall in love with him. We're going to hear about his life and his comedy aspirations. You're going to get to know him without his mask on his face, with no pretensions. He's just going to bare his, he's going to take off his clothes. No, he's just going to bare his soul. He's just going to tell you who he is, you guys. Let's not make this any bigger than it is. Okay, so you can see these videos on my YouTube, comedian Linda Marcus Smith, and I do a heck of a lot of stuff during the month, and it all costs money. So feel free to donate, but not Chris Kim. I don't want your money. I want to promote you. But everybody else, throw in $1. It's not going to kill you to help promote me. So my Venmo, yes, shameless plug from the half Jewish girl, is my Venmo is Linda dash Marcus Marcus dash Linda. Oh no, I lied. My Venmo is Linda dash Smith dash 400. Having said all that, if you're still here, God bless you. So let's get to our guest of the day. Welcome to the stage here on Comic Spot, the one and only Chris Kim you need to know in Vegas. Hi, Chris.
Good afternoon, Linda.
Hi, thanks for bouncing around schedules with me.
Yup,
Yeah,
anytime.
I love your seatbelt. You've got that crisscross thing going on. Looks very military like.
Safety first.
Talk to me about what you're up to in Vegas this month, how you made it through the pandemic, what Vegas means to you. Let's start with that.
Sure. Vegas has Vegas is I have a love-hate relationship with the city, but I grew up here around 15 years. I just started doing stand-up comedy, which is where I met a lot of a slew of very interesting characters like yourself. I feel like the comic scene here is just is like a big orphanage, that or a pirate ship. All the undesirables lumped to one boat. But of course, my goal is to be very desirable
Yeah,
by making people laugh, whatever at whatever cost, I suppose. But yeah, Vegas has been both. Am I allowed to cuss on here?
yeah, go right ahead.
Yeah, Vegas has been, can be such a bitch sometimes. Las Vegas, the city. Um, and I'm only one person. I'm not perfect. But I mean, like you said, I'm out here trying to develop my comedic skill so that I can one day be a professional comedian, which is an artistic career path here in America. It's not so much a dream. I don't want to chase a dream, but I think it's just alternative career path.
Yes,
Com- yeah, comedians need more respect.
that's right.
The yeah, the art form is kind of from my perspective, how I would describe it, it's like low entry. So anybody can go up, sign up for open mic, and try to make people laugh, and sometimes get a desirable response. But I think the skill is having canned material and putting it out there day to day, night by night, and getting people to laugh. And there's so much to it. Delivery, how you feel about, depending on how you feel, you might have did something a couple minutes before, ate something funny that day, and it can impact your material a little bit. That's my perspective, though. So,
I like that.
but I like stand-up comedy. I think stand-up comedy is definitely something that I'm supposed to be doing. So I'm just going with it right now.
I love it. I love seeing you out at the mics and shows. You're always, I'll tell you what you do. You always are a stable force. You're not moody. You always give eye contact, a smile, a hug, a nice comment. You're not a shithead. You're not an ego-filled maniac. You're humble. You get up there and the first 3 to 5 years suck because you don't have anything figured out. You're just up there naked on stage, and you take a lot of puck shots from other people, and you hear a lot of snickers from people that think they're better. I've heard the snickers, I put up with them. And at some point you turn a corner and they start actually, becoming your fans.
Mm.
And it's rough. It's rough. It's like you're being indoctrinated into a cult. Sometimes it's like you're, trying to get into a sorority way after
A
college.
hazing process.
Huh?
Is that your thing, Linda? It's a hazing process.
Yeah, you know me. I'm the hazer. I'm out there just trying to make people quit comedy.
You're an OG figure in the comedy scene here,
Yeah,
and you are one of the few OG female figures. So that's probably a valuable perspective, even in comedy. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. And I am 9.5 years in, and I still put up with a lot of hazing comments. So, like sometimes that stuff never ends, and sometimes it turns a corner, and some people never grow up, is what I'm saying.
I guess we just got to get stronger because I don't expect the bullshit to ever end. But you just got to get tougher and stronger and better and
Yeah.
faster. So that's what I got to work on.
Yeah. Oh, I see I see real. You might want to turn your phone down. If you turn the volume down, we might have less feedback. I'm gonna blame it on you.
No.
So, yeah. So let's talk about little Chris Kim. Where the hell did you grow up? Where were you born? Where were you raised? I'm not asking because you're Asian. I'm asking because I just want to know, like, did you grow up in Cerritos, California? I'm not asking if you're an immigrant. Don't get me wrong. Where'd you grow up in America? Where you been in America? I'm not trying to get you to say that you don't have your papers yet and ICE could come pick you up. Don't even go there.
Yeah. No worries, Linda. I am an American citizen. I was born and raised in America. I was born in California, San Jose, Santa Cruz, and I moved to Las Vegas around sixth grade. So I think I might have been like 11 or 12 or 13 or somewhere in that ballpark. And
Yeah.
ever since then, I've been in Las Vegas. I was outside the country for a little over a year because I was in the service. But other than that, I think that's as much traveling as I've ever done in my entire life. Uh, I might have been to Reno and some other places just on a road trip, but really I've only been in California and in Nevada.
You
So I
say
want to travel more.
you say that you might have been to Reno. Did somebody drug you and throw you in the
Uh,
car?
hope not. Not that I can remember.
So talk to me about the service that you mentioned.
Yeah, I was in the service for a little bit. It was a experience that I try to make the most out of with my time there. But my experience is probably vastly different from any other service member's experience. I had a very unique anecdotal perspective experience. But I have to be a little bit grateful to Uncle Sam because I was able to apply for certain benefits that definitely are extremely useful. Even though Uncle Sam is kind of an abusive, tyrannical uh,
Machine.
force concept, you know what I'm saying? But it could be a lot worse. But I don't want to rationalize it by saying that because it could always be a lot worse. So I just want to get better.
So you were in the military for a short while. Can I ask did you get out because you got injured?
No, that was not the reason for my leave of the service. I really haven't talked too much about this, but I mean I might as well say it.
Okay,
I was discharged with a general under honorable status.
got it. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I wanted to stay in, but I don't know exactly what they had in mind. I felt like a lot of the things were already put into motion way before I could really they had already made their mind up and they were going about whatever they were going about, how they were going about it.
Mhm.
Um
I've seen
but
I've seen that happen to people before.
mhm,
I'm
I'm
glad you
not worried about
I'm glad you got out with general under honorable. That's an awesome combination. At least you get those benefits.
it. Yeah, I mean, I would have loved to have served my whole contract, but if I had served my whole contract, I don't know if I'd ever stumble into comedy. So it might have been a blessing in disguise.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. We're glad to have you.
Yeah, because if I'd still be in the service now and I wouldn't be out for maybe another couple of years, I don't know if comedy would be in the plan at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I love doing. I really do for some degree love doing stand up comedy. Um, there's things that come with the social aspect of it that I need to work on. I guess I've never really liked to be a people pleaser, but at the same time, I don't want to step on anyone's toes. I don't want to make anyone feel bad. And at the same time, I also don't. I don't want to be. I also want to defend myself. And if there's certain things that I want to pursue in the comedy scene, I really hope that doesn't ruffle any feathers. I'm if I see something I like, I'm gonna go for it. Whether that's a mic, a stage, or just people in general. And
Yeah.
I don't think that should ruffle too many feathers. You know
Exactly.
what I mean? I don't want. Yeah, I don't want to edit myself to make anyone around me. Uh, I don't want to have to consider other people's feelings of me um, based on what I'm doing or what I'm after. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
complicated. I could have articulated that better, but I
No,
like making people laugh.
yeah. And you do make people laugh. And you know, uh, like I said, the comedy scene everywhere you go, there's always going to be like people that aren't on board with somebody. And then there's going to be people that love us all, and there's going to be people that snicker and poke fun. And I've seen you be the recipient of some of the vetting process that goes on.
Yeah, and I want to expedite through all that if possible. I don't really necessarily enjoy the. I've already been and proven myself in so many different arenas.
Yep.
Well, just a few. But I understand if there's something that people feel like they got to do or whatever, they can do whatever. But
Yep. You're
uh,
gonna prove yourself. I know that I can see you down the road I see your comedy progressing, and I can see where your
Thank
comedy
you.
is going to go.
Thank you.
I think for 1 year in comedy, Chris Kim, I think you're one of the most stable, confident, strong comedians in your composure. Your
In my
composure
composure.
under a wide array of audiences and under under scrutiny and adversity. I think a lot of you deserve mad respect.
Thank you, Linda. And I understand to some degree, people are people. And I also have the same proclivities as everyone else. But, you know, I've always had to try to be funny to fit in when I was younger. I think that's where a lot of that didn't happen overnight because
Yeah.
most of the people I hang out with I was usually the minority.
Yeah.
So that just naturally kind of happened.
Talk to me
So
about talk to me about the funniest thing you did at the earliest age.
the funniest thing I ever did that I can remember at the earliest age.
Mhm.
Um,
You want me to tell you mine first while you think?
sure, Linda.
Okay. So my parents were Holocaust survivors. I hope you're not
Mm,
jealous. And
congratulations.
thank you. I mean, if you're going to brag a bit about being Jewish, you're going to have to go to the Holocaust because that's where the bragging, money, houses, Hollywood. No, my family had none of that. They just they survived the Holocaust. And
Yeah, they survived something that was designed to kill them.
yeah, and they
Yeah.
they argued. They taught me so many valuable lessons like drinking too much, you
Mm.
know, too much drugs, too much gambling, and way too much sex, and not necessarily with each other. So I saw a lot of sex parties, a lot of fighting and drinking. And I remember one day my parents were yelling and screaming and fighting, and I just couldn't take it anymore, Chris Kim. So, what's a girl to do? I took some glass marbles. Do you know what marbles are?
Yes, Linda.
So I took them and I put them on my head and I let them drop and crash to the hardwood floor. And
You're saying your parents exposed you to that stuff?
they were fighting, and I instinctively did something with marbles that made them stop fighting and laugh. When the
Mm.
marbles dropped to the ground, they looked at me, they stopped fighting, and they were looking at me with both of them were now in agreement to get me to say what the hell I was doing with those marbles. So I looked at them and I said, "You're making me lose my marbles." And then we laughed.
They survived the Holocaust, so I'm sure that has some kickback after. So, but at the
Yeah,
same time, they shouldn't have been fighting in front of you. I agree. But
yeah,
surviving the Holocaust, my goodness,
yeah, you
who
did
knows?
make me happy.
Drink. I might be a drinker too and be in these wild sex parties if I had survived the Holocaust.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so let's hear something you said or did that was funny when you were little.
From what I can remember, I can comment on the first time what would be a funny story? Uh, I remember I used to live in a neighborhood in this city over a decade ago. So when I was just a freshman, I think in high school, I had a friend come over to my place, and I had another friend who lived in the same neighborhood, and I didn't know any better back then. Now that I think about it, in retrospect, both of us kind of came from not the best familial situation, so we didn't know any better. So me and my friend who came over went to my friend's house in the same neighborhood, Uh, and this was kind of a nicer neighborhood, but we just didn't have the familial buttressing that would be congruent of that area, if that makes sense. So we were there, we could afford to live there, but it's not like we really belong. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, but anyways, so me and my friend who came over went to my other friend's house who lives in that neighborhood, and we thought it was a good idea to vandalize his house. So we threw, I mean, we messed up his house pretty bad, and we thought it was really funny. But now that I think about it in retrospect, it was extremely disrespectful, not only to the friend who lived in their neighborhood, but to his single father. Uh, so that was not cool, but it was funny. We put hot dogs on there. He had a fence, like with a gate with pointed tips. So we put hot dogs at the tip of all those. We TP'd the tree, the giant tree in front of his house. We put ketchup on his door handles, on his welcome mat, and we vandalized his property badly. But yeah, I mean that's funny, but it's also a learning lesson. That wasn't a good idea. But
Yeah,
just giving you an idea what I thought was acceptable as funny back then.
I
That's what me and my friend did.
that has a lot of irony in it. That could be a good story for on stage.
Yeah, but I don't remember the details too much about that one.
Yeah.
And I like writing about things that I'm living through now.
Yeah.
But I actually agree, yeah.
Tell me something funny that's been going on within the last 6 months.
Oh, my life's been really funny lately, Linda. I feel like I've stepped into a supernatural dimension. But
Hilarious.
you want to hear funny?
Yeah.
All right, so something funny within the last 6 months. There's so many things I can recount, but a good story I can share with you is hmm, I went to Los Angeles maybe 2 weeks ago for a couple days, and I went there specifically to hit up the open mics to see how my comedy would hold up against or in the city of angels, right? So I was there for a couple nights. I slept in my car. The weather, it's a coastal city, so the weather is so good that sleeping in my car was comfortable. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't uncomfortable. It's not possible in this city in Vegas. But anyways, I was in California and I went to this one open mic called the Third Wheel Studio or the Third Wheel Podcast or something like that. It's around midnight. They have a midnight mic and it's in a rough part of Los Angeles. And what I mean by that is that there's hookers lining every block from one block till you walk to the open mic from the parking lot. And the architecture has not been updated. So it's a rough part of town. And when I was walking over there, I saw this one beautiful lady. So I thought, I mean, she looked attractive. So I walked up to her and then she looked me in my face. And then I realized it wasn't a lady, it was a man. And she was speaking to me. Obviously, she knows how to speak English, but she said, Espanol, only Espanol, something like that. And then once I realized she was a man, I just kind of politely, respectfully let her, kind of try to distance myself from that interaction. But then she had a friend who walked by who was obviously a female. And I asked her, I said, Gabesa? And look, I apologize. I don't want to offend anyone, but you said you want to hear a funny story, right?
Yes.
Look, this lady, this chick who walks right by this dude that looks like a hot chick, walk right by. She's not as physically attractive as the dude. It's crazy enough, but I'll still go with the chick than the hot dude. You know what I'm saying? So I asked her. I said, "Cabeza," and then she said, I think she said "ciento" or something like that. 150. No disrespect, okay? Look, if there's drug dealers selling drugs on the street, just because I'm not buying drugs isn't gonna stop the drug dealers from selling. You know what I'm saying? So please don't judge me, okay? And I never ended up paying her for the, what I asked for. Mainly because when I left. I asked her I got an invoice. She told me a price. I told her I was going to an open mic as best I could, only in Espanol. So I went to the comedy open mic and I was there for some time, and I left hoping I'd bump into her again. And she was gone. And that was it. That for that night she was gone. So
So did she mean 150 pesos?
$150.
I know. That's a great story.
That really happened.
That really happened. That's the best thing that I've heard you say. That is so great, just the way you said it. That would be hilarious on stage.
Yes, but on stage I feel like what works on stage is a little bit different. If I said that story just like that, I wouldn't feel comfortable saying it like that. I want all my material to be structured. I
That
would
was
need to, yeah.
I'm gonna argue with you because that was so raw, so real, so beautiful, and so natural. That was a Chris
Thank,
Kim. That was a Chris Kim I've never heard before, and I loved it so much.
thank you, Linda.
I
It's a true
dare
story.
I will give you $50 if the next time we're at an open mic and they have a 5-minute mic and I'm there, I'll give you $50 to do that set that way.
Linda, I don't want you paying me to do that. I will, if I see you at the next open mic, and to pay you back in how I can for this interview, I will say that story at that open mic.
Thank
I
you.
can't I can't pay you any cash now, Linda. I'm not rich yet. But,
Why
but
are
when
you,
I am rich,
what's your day job? You're in a car. Are you delivery dude?
I get money from the service.
Good.
Yeah, and also I'm looking for a 9 to 5 is what I mean.
What type of 9 to 5 do you want?
Well, honestly, I was thinking about going to LA, but I don't know how realistic that is. Well, I've decided I'm gonna bounce back and forth from Las Vegas and LA. I'm gonna work my schedule around that. I'm gonna implement that plan by the end of this month, and I'm gonna see where I can fit in a 9 to 5, because I'm gonna start bouncing back and forth.
Love it.
Because because Las Vegas is great to keep your material fit, because there's like 2 to 3 mics a night, right? You can keep your stuff fit here. You can go to the comedy gym and keep it tight. But in LA, from my perspective, there's like 10 mics a day. And LA, the people who show up to these mics that I've seen, they're very polished. So it's not really a gym over there. It's more like the arena. It's like a show. It's like
Yep. Every mic is a tryout to get booked.
yeah, a lot of the people I've seen in LA are it's not like they're at the gym, they're at the Olympics, they're showing what they're doing from the gym. You know what I'm saying?
You're trying to get picked up for a sitcom and God knows what.
Right.
Yep. So true.
But it's great for my material. So I'm definitely gonna be bouncing back and forth.
Absolutely. That's smart. How many brothers and sisters do you have?
I have one older half brother, 2 sisters, 2 younger sister, and one's a half sister.
Awesome. And do they live in the California or Nevada area?
My brother lives in California or Korea or something like that. I don't know exactly where he lives, but he's not in Nevada.
Yeah. Okay. So what is your goal in life? What do you want to accomplish before you become an okay boomer and die?
Well, I want to live a long, meaningful, prosperous, fun, and fulfilling life. So, but before I meet my maker in heaven, I would like to experience the highest level of success in many different domains. with
Love that.
money, business, money, women, comedy. Okay, so I'm not selling you for anything less than that.
What's your dream job?
If I can be a professional comedian and get paid a real living salary just to make people laugh, that would probably that's pretty good right there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would say that'd be it.
awesome. What do you want to say to people to incite them, motivate them to come to your comedy? How would you like to plead for people to be your fans? Yeah, to be your fans.
I would say. So the question is how would I get people to show up to these open mics or what?
Tell me
To be
right now, speak into the microphone to people who are going to be watching them and give them a promise of what you'll do if they show up. Like, I promise if you'll show up and tell me you saw this on Linda's podcast, that I will do everything I can to make you laugh and be the professional you want a comedian to be, something like that. Anything to incite them to want to be your fan because they're
Do you have a
watching.
lot of Linda? I don't know your channel. Do you have a lot of viewers or what?
Oh, I'm going to talk like I'm from South Dakota now. It varies. I
No.
like I've done 1,046 other interviews, and
Hmm.
and Sinbad got 2,500 views, and then I've got some out there that don't have any views and everything in between. But let's say only one person sees this and you
So
want
you,
one person to think about coming. What would you say to that one person out there that might be watching this later today?
I hit up the open mics in this city consistently. If you show up to the open mic for that day and you are there to see me, or okay, I'm trying to get them to go there. Oh, the open mic shows are free. Come on in and have a seat. You're probably gonna laugh. If anything, you'll probably leave the night feeling better about yourself after hearing the uh the comedian. I said before, it's like an orphanage. The quote unquote undesirables. I don't want to. I don't want to lump myself in with that group, but I am with that group. But I want to be more than desirable. But yeah, we're there. We're there to condition our material first and foremost. And if you're there to specifically see me, let me know you saw me on Linda's podcast. And if you're I don't know, I'll just probably I'll feel like it's my job to make you laugh at that point. And even if you're a hot chick, I might make you look uncomfortable, but just for a moment. It's my duty as a man to learn from my mistakes.
You're fabulous. Where do people want to follow you on social media?
Yes, Linda, thank you. My IG is where people can follow me on Chris Kim, haha, my
Haha.
Instagram. Correct.
What made you choose the handle Chris Kim Haha as opposed to Chris Kim Funny Man or Chris Kim I wear a red hat but I don't support Trump or I do.
Um, it just got it might be edited later, but that's my first name, last name, and it's haha.
I like it.
It's what people say or do when they see something funny,
Yeah,
and hopefully they see me, Chris Kim, haha.
I love it. I love it. And I love you. And I love you in Vegas. And if you're in LA, I'm going to be in LA October 9th to the 15th. And we should hit up some mics together.
Yes, Linda, I'll definitely be there to aid you if I ever do see you in LA, because you will be a friendly face.
Yeah.
and you're from where I'm from.
Yeah. We go way back.
So we have been in the trenches together as mercenaries. The least I can do if I see you in a different battlefield is give you some aid.
That's right. You'll be the good Samaritan who will pick me up off the sidewalk.
It'll be the diplomatic thing for me to do.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
story
yeah.
will go viral, no, and I will die and you will be famous. It's like you'll be my ghost.
Don't
My
so
ghost will
soon.
go into you. I'm being silly now. Thank you so much, Chris Kim. I love you lots. And thank you for
Thank you,
your
Linda.
service.
Anytime, Linda. I appreciate your what is this? I appreciate this. Thank you so much. I hope that you will no longer have to take the cat bus to get around. I hope that you may be commuting safely and expediently. But thank you, and
Sometimes
have a great day.
sometimes I street walk and sometimes I take the double decker bus to get to comedy. You know why I take the double decker?
Why is that, Linda?
So I can say I took a deuce.
That's funny. That's a
Thank
good
you.
joke.
Thank you. See ya.
Bye, Linda. Have a great day.
Have a great day too, Chris Kim. Follow him, you guys. Chris Kim, haha, on Instagram. Bye, Chris Kim.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.